5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Hello there, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, good day, goodbye. Hello, wherever you are in the world. As I always say, one of those will apply to you. Welcome along for the last time this season. We are looking at the predictions. We're going to look at two. We're going to start off with looking at mine mainly, but we'll also include Rob Tanner's league predictions of where we all thought the teams may finish in the league. And then we'll go through the prediction league. Nate is in. Good evening, Nate. How are you? Welcome along, mate. Hope you are well. If you were watching via your favourite podcast platform, thank you very much for lending me your ears. It is really much appreciated. Everything's going wrong for me tonight. It's my last show before my holidays tomorrow. I can't wait to go. We should start raining here again, though. I like it to be raining here when I go on my holidays. But if you're watching via YouTube, like Wayne did there, please do join in and get your thoughts up. They should come up in the corner there as we go through. And if you are watching on catch up on YouTube, add your thoughts below. Always pleased to and look forward to reading those. So it is the prediction league, and we will come on to that towards the end of the show. But right at the start of the season, myself and Rob Tanner from The Athletic, we sat down and we predicted where or how the league table would look come the end of the season. The problem in that with football these days is there's obviously a lot of changes. Managers change. A lot of predictions we made were based on who was in charge at the time, and it all goes tits up, if I'm honest with you. And if nothing else, it just proves I know fuck all about football. Let's get this on. Okay, I'm just trying to... can you all hear me okay? I hope you can. Like I say, I have absolutely no excuses for this. I'm absolutely rubbish.
Let it go, let it go.
And the sound's not working again either. So there we go. I give up. It's going to be one of those nights, isn't it? Here we go. This should be working now. Can you all hear me? That is the main problem. Because if you can't, we're going to have to start doing sign language. But here we go. We're going to get straight into this. Like I say, if nothing else, it proves that I know nothing absolutely about football. But it has been a very odd season. let's be honest with you. There's been some results, some teams that haven't performed as we thought they would do. And some of them in a good way, a lot of them in a bad way. Thank you very much, Wayne. I'm glad I'm coming through loud and clear. That's what I like to hear. Or you like to hear, maybe. So, like I say, right at the start of the season, myself and Rob Tanner sat down and we predicted where all the teams might finish. Of course, Leicester, we have the threat of PSR hanging over us. Other clubs were starting with managers that didn't last very long. A lot of clubs twisted in an attempt to get a new manager in who's better. Wayne's given away a bit of a secret there. We haven't announced it yet, but there's nothing like giving secrets away, is there, Wayne? Let me just delete that. Wayne comes in, and let's just say that's the end of the show. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. No need to carry on. Cheers, Wayne. Wayne, if you know, I said the other day about a brain donor. Yeah. Anyway, let's get on with this. This is, like I say, the prediction table. So this is where we predicted where each team would finish. So we're going to make this a start. And we'll start at the bottom. As I always used to say to my wife, she was never very happy about it, but we used to start at the bottom and work our way around. But we're going to work our way. Did I really just say that then? I think I did. So here we go. So in 20th place, it was Southampton. But we all know where they finished. Where did we predict them to finish? Well, they finished in 20th place. They had a really, really bad season, as you know. They were very lucky not to end up joint equal bottom with Derby as the worst ever Premier League team. But they managed to avoid that, and they got 12 points. Yes. We can't really brag. We can't really brag. But where did I predict them to finish? There you go. I predicted them to finish 19th. So I wasn't a million miles away. Rob Tanner gets his first point because he predicted them to finish 20th. To be honest with you, I didn't have the room to put his on. So I was only one out there. Good start. It's probably as good as it gets, if I'm going to be honest with you. But yeah, I predicted them to finish 19th. In 19th place, well, we all know it was Ipswich Town. One 0 it is to Rob at the moment. Can I get one back? Well, funnily enough, as we were doing the show at the start of the season, of course, Rob is what I would like to call, obviously, a football expert. He might argue with that. But we actually agreed, out of the 20 teams, we actually agreed 7 times. So about 40-odd% of the time, we actually agreed. And this was one of them, because we both said that Ipswich Town would finish 16th. You can see how this is going, can't you? You can see this is not working well. I was 3 out with that. Of course, we all know who finished in 18th place. The table is upside down, by the way. But there we go. Leicester City. Where did Rob and me predict them? And this was another one that we agreed on. Now, do remember, when we predicted this, we thought we might get a points deduction. So, where did me and Rob, because we both agreed on this one. This was 2 out of 7, second one that we agreed on. 17th. And as we said at the time, it was probably more through hope than any dream that we might do. But let's be honest with you, we would have taken that, wouldn't we? We would have taken that. Now, Tottenham Hotspur finished in 17th. Well, as you can see, neither Rob nor me predicted that. I have to say that this is one of the first ones where you go, you wouldn't have got this in a month of Sundays. Well, we wouldn't have done, would we? Because I predicted them to finish fourth. Rob actually predicted them to finish third. So it's as bad as me. It's not just me. You know, when you got your expert panelist as well, he predicted them to come third. What I find totally amusing, and I have to say, I do actually believe that next season, and I'm not having a go at Spurs here, second in a 3-horse race. I'm not actually having a go at them, but congratulations on winning the Europa League. But that now puts Spurs into the Champions League. Just look at the third column there, which is the actual positions. The team that finished the fourth worst in a 20-team division, one place they finished above getting relegated, and it was only the fact that the 3 teams below them, including Leicester, were so shit that they weren't. They're actually in the Champions League next season. Oh, I would love them. And I'm going to nail my colour to the mast here. I would love them. I'd love it, if Tottenham Hotspur went on to win the league next season. The Champions League, that is. Because I would love the UEFA to sit there with them, probably the most prestigious cup competition in the world. And to finish 17th. How does that devalue the Champions League? Hi, Doug. How you doing? Welcome along. Like I said the other night, mate, glad to hear you are okay. So I had them finishing 4th. Rob had them finishing 3rd. In 16th place, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Not a good season for Wolves. Now, in mine and Rob's defence, and you're going to hear a lot of excuses. Hi there, be careful. That sounds like I'm telling somebody, hi there, be careful. But no. In mine and Rob's defences, I think I can say this, I don't think Paddy's watching, that we... Oh, be careful, be careful, be careful. I'm going to have to ban you. That's your first warning. You came in the other day and you were saying those things a lot as well. Next time you're going to get banned. So you're not going to spam the chat again. So when we predicted this at the start of the season, obviously the Wolves was the great, as Paddy would say, the great Gary O'Neill was their manager. They didn't do a lot better, although they probably were one of the better teams that changed their manager. Leicester, Southampton. But where did I have them coming? 18th. Like I say, based on Gary O'Neill. Now in 15th place, and again, who would have predicted this? It's extremely funny. Manchester United ended up in 15th. By the way, can I just say to any Manchester United fans winning, love the open top bus tour in the Far East, mate. Spot on. Just, if you ever wake up as a Leicester City fan and think, oh my God, my life's shit, my team is shit, could be worse, you could be a Man United supporter. So they managed to finish in 15th. Where did I have them finishing? Yep, look to the left-hand side. I had them finishing the Europa League space of 6th. I had no idea. That said, Rob agreed with me as well. He agreed 6th as well. So don't blame me. The great Rob Tanner also thought they would finish 6th. They didn't. 9 places below, they finished in 15th. 14th, West Ham United. Of course, they started the season with Loppy Toppy Tigo in charge. Or is it Floppy Loppy Dick or something like that? I don't know. He was in charge anyway. And they kind of did all right at the end of last season. They turned it round. But they did finish 15th. They changed to Harry Potter, of course. I know it's Graham. Of course. But did it make any difference? And did Leicester City dodge a bullet by not getting Graham Potter in charge? Or is it a case of he was stuck with an awful team? Because they were actually higher when they sacked Floppy Loppy Dick than they are now. And it's interesting because the West Ham fans aren't enjoying the football under Potter. And West Ham fans have always been like this. It's the way that you play the game. And I had this argument on a channel the other day. Do we want to watch entertaining football or do we want to watch a winning team? Now, in an ideal world, you'd want both. But we don't live in an ideal world, unfortunately. I would sooner play boring football and win something than play exciting football and not. That's all I'm saying, West Ham. That's all I'm saying. Where did I have West Ham finishing? 9th. Like I say, just shows what I know. Rob had them finishing 12th, so he was a bit closer than I was. I was 5 out. My biggest gap so far is West Ham. Who finished in 13th? Everton. Scott, like I say, mate, football is all about opinions, and I respect yours, as you know. We've known each other a while now. And yeah, that's fine. Like I say, I'd sooner be the other way, but like I say, it is all about opinions. Everton, who were down there with us, don't forget, with a possible Leicester City manager, Sean Dyche, in charge. And then they finished 13th. Probably out of all the manager changes, that was the best one. And yes, I know before anybody says that, well, Moyes should have come to Leicester. He was never going to come to Leicester. He did not want a relegation fight. The only reason that he actually signed for Everton was because of the history between him and the football club. He would never have come to Leicester. But, like I say, very well done finishing in 13th place. There was, at the start of the season, Southampton, Leicester, Ipswich, Everton, Wolves, and Palace. They were like the 6 that were sort of struggling at the time, that looked to be cut adrift. Moyes, fantastic job. West Ham fans, are you regretting letting him go now? But again, wasn't entertaining football enough for you, was it? He won you the Europa Conference League, which was a competition, but you didn't want him. You don't want Potter now. It just really sounds like Leicester fans, doesn't it? We're never going to make everybody happy. So where did I predict Everton to finish? I was a gnat's penis away from getting this one right. That's not Nate's penis, by the way, before anybody starts thinking anything. No, a gnat's penis away from being right with this one, because I had Everton in 14th. I was just the 1 out. Twice I've been 1 out. So, who finished in 12th? Crystal Palace. And again, Congratulations, Palace. First new name since Leicester won it on the old Lady of Trophies, the FA Cup. Beating Manchester City, no disrespect, I didn't think you would do, but you deserved it. Well done. Well done. It's nice to see the fact that a team like Manchester City came away with nothing this season. But they didn't. So, Crystal Palace. And the Crystal Palace were the one club, apart from Ipswich, and let's be honest with you, Ipswich were never going to get rid of McKenna. So, Crystal Palace stuck with their manager, and didn't it pay off? Did it not pay off? I'm not saying that, if we'd stuck with Steve Cooper, we'd have won the league or we'd have won whatever, but we all wanted him gone. And as that guy said that was in earlier, be careful what you wish for. So, they finished 12th. Where did I predict that they would finish? There you go, 10th. Pretty close again. Rob Tanner had them finishing 9th. Yeah, Rob. Don't come on then. Don't come on to these channels with all your I work for the athletic attitude, which he doesn't, by the way. He doesn't. Now, in 11th place, Fulham. If I was a Fulham fan, this is the first of the teams that as a fan I would actually be disappointed with. Not disappointed as a season, because I think if you're going to finish 11th for a team like Fulham, you've had a pretty decent season. But where you were earlier in the season, possibly looking at Europe, 11th will come across, I think, as a bit of a disappointment. There's not many gaps that I've got on the right there, as you can see. But where did I have Fulham? Get in! Get in! Spot on there! Spot on! Fulham in 11th. Some of us have it, some of us don't, guys. I really, really don't. That was luck. And as you can see from my reaction, there may not be many of those in the show tonight, but I got Fulham spot on. That is the left-hand side of the table complete. Let's move over onto the right-hand side. And who did I have? Or who finished in 10th place? In 10th place, it was Brentford. Again, a team that you could say will be disappointed with this season. Back of the net. Indeed, Wayne. Indeed. He's trying to creep now. I can tell that earlier. Love you, Wayne. Brentford finished 10th. Again, at the start of the season, I think as a Brentford fan, you can't be disappointed with your season as a whole, but it did look at one point like you might sneak into the European places. Although, let's be honest with you, at some point, had Arsenal won the Champions League, when was it? We might have got a few more places down there for Europe. But no, Brentford in 10th, unlucky, but like I say, they did probably disappointed. They're not finishing 10th, but out their season. I had them coming up there in 15th, which was another one I agreed with Rob Tanner on. So I'm not shit on my own. Where were you when you were shit? Well, I'll tell you where I was. I was predicting the league with Rob Tanner. 9th, into single figures. Who finished in 9th place? Bournemouth. Again, I don't know if you remember, about 9 weeks before the end of the season, I did a show. I did 2 shows, in fact. Hi, True, how you doing? And I did those shows. It was the last 9 games, or the last third, or whatever it was, of the season in ours and the Championship. And I had Dan on from Burnley, Dan the Burnley fan, my internet son, and I had Paddy Craig on from up the cherries in all departments. And he predicted that Bournemouth would finish in the European places. Would have loved them to have done that, but I think theirs is an amazing story. So, unfortunately, excuse me, unfortunately they were able to. The wheels kind of came off their wagon. They've already lost a player to Real Madrid, is it, or Barcelona? I'm not sure, but they've already lost one of their players, and I think they'll possibly lose a few more before the season starts, and possibly they'll lose the manager. I hope not, because he's doing such a good job at Bournemouth. But when you're named after a nipple, what do you expect? What's the point? Yeah, get it. So ninth, where did I have them finishing? The wheels coming off their wagon, but not as much as I thought it would. I went for 12th. Rob was nearer. He had them finishing in 10th. Who finished in 8th? Well, if you know the table, you'll know it was Brighton. And that's probably it's the last place apart from Europe. Brighton was still in with a hunt of Europe on the last day, but the results didn't go for them. Referees don't help, do the Villa fans? Like I say, Brighton, Bournemouth, Brentford, Fulham, that little group of 4 teams there were all challenging for Europe earlier on in the season, and they all finished outside of the European places. But where did I have Brighton finishing? Over on that side, in 13th place. I was 5 out there, totally. But Rob also agreed with me, and he said that Brighton would finish in 13th as well. Funny that True Red had just joined the chat, because up in 7th and coming up next, Nottingham Forest. Finishing in 7th. They were at one point, up until a couple of weeks ago, challenging for the Champions League. Who was it who put a spoke in that wheel? The dreams of them getting back into the Champions League. Oh, who was it? Can't think. Let me guess. Who stopped them doing, qualifying for the Champions League? Or help them stop? Oh, yes, it was us. Just in case you were wondering. With that 2-2 draw. Look, well done to Forest. I've got to say, they've had a great season. Now, again, I would have loved to have seen them get into the Champions League places, because it means that one of the big boys, Tottenham, Man United, whoever, weren't going to. So, look, any team outside the 6 that they were 3rd? Yes, they probably were when we played them, yes. Get what you mean now. But any team that's outside the top 6 that has a really good season, I'm really pleased for, because it does break that so-called top 6 monopoly, big 6 monopoly. Where did Chris have Forest finishing? Well, I'll tell you where I had it finishing. True, 20th. Now, look, if you are honest, True Red, Luke, you never thought Nottingham Forest would have finished 7th, would you? Come on, not in your wildest dreams. Yes, Doug, oops indeed. As Britney Spears would say, I did it again. I have to say, at the start of the season, you could have asked me, did I rate Nuno as a manager? No, I didn't. But he's proved us wrong. Not that I need any help in being proven wrong, but he proved us wrong. I thought they would finish 20th. In my defence, and if you ever wonder, because I always wonder what happens with the defence, but apparently the man with the was coming in the morning to mend it. Sorry. Rob Tanner had them finishing 18th. So you can see where, I wasn't miles out from the expert's opinion. But yeah, well done to Forest, finishing 7th. I think this is just qualification for the conference. I don't think they automatically go into the conference. Exactly, Luke. Exactly. Nobody would have predicted that. Nobody would have predicted Spurs finishing 17th or Manchester United finishing 15th either. It was one of those seasons. But have good luck in the conference. Chelsea, of course, won it last night. And I've got to say to Chelsea, the conference is designed for those teams that struggle with smaller squads, don't have much money, never probably going to get into the Champions League. Perfect for Chelsea, really, wasn't it? In six. Fancy a bit of bully, everybody. In 6, we have... I've lost it. I'm going on my holidays tomorrow. I don't give a shit anymore. This is my last show before I go on holidays. So you can have a week off from this ugly mug, you'd be pleased to know. Yeah, fair play to them. I think I've always at 19th and Wolves 18th. No, like I say, the weirdest of weird seasons, as you'll see when we come to the actual prediction league. But Aston Villa finishing in 6th in Europa League. I have to say, having watched it over and over and over again, almost for as long as the VAR people check their screens, I did think he was holding on to the ball. From a certain angle, it looked like he was holding on to the ball. Now, if my head is the ball, I know if I've got my hands like that, I know I'm not actually holding on to it, but come on. But look, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Aston Villa, Europa League, 6th. Where did I predict them to finish? 3rd. Rob had them finishing 8th, so we were a little bit out there. Yeah, like I said, just go back to Forest. Don't think they qualify automatically for the conference. I think it's qualification. It doesn't actually say on the BBC thing that I'm looking at. In 5th, we have Newcastle United. What a season for them. Sorry, Doug, I know you're in, but well done to Newcastle. However many years, 70 odd years was it since they won a trophy. Fair play to them. 26th of June for us, I believe it is, for the championship. Thanks for reminding us, Doug. Newcastle started the season off really badly, and I have to say fair play to Newcastle because they are not doing a Chelsea, they are not doing a Manchester City, they are playing by the rules. Maybe we should try that. I don't know. Anyway, but they managed to win the League Cup, and they're also in 5th, so they're actually in the Champions League, which was a bit lucky because they lost the last game. But because of the Man United Villa result, they ended up getting into the Champions League. So fair play to them. 5th they finish. Where did I have them? 7th. Rob had them finishing 5th. Yeah, that's the second one Rob got right. But then again, he only got 2 right so far. Will he get any more? Will I get any more right? In 4th, it was Chelsea. And like I say, congratulations on winning the Champions League. It is a bit like, to me, that's a bit like a male swimmer competing in female contests, with all the controversy now. It's a bit like that for me, Chelsea being in the conference, but that's football for you. So they were in 4th. Where did I have Chelsea finishing? 8th. I thought I was being rather generous with Enzo in charge. Now, I haven't seen any Chelsea fan channels recently, but a while ago, they absolutely hated Enzo. They did not like his style of play at all. getting you into the Champions League next season, winning the Conference League. I mean, does that mean the team that they played, was it, I don't forget who it was now, it was a Spanish team, wasn't it? Does it mean that they will now go into the Europa League? I don't know what it means. It's very, very complicated. But I wonder if the Chelsea fans now love Enzo a little bit more. Anyway, fourth place were Chelsea. Where did I predict them to be? Oops. There we go, eighth, further down. I didn't see that I'd already put it there. Chelsea, I had them in eighth. Rob had them in seventh, so yeah. Well, it's not a giveaway because you know where everybody's finished in the league. Manchester City's third. Winning. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Hey, what did Manchester City win this season? Absolutely nothing. Hey, I'm sorry. They isn't it nice that, I mean, seeing Manchester City win nothing. Just take that in. Just take that in. Sometimes, you know, they say money can't buy you everything. Well, money can't buy you love. We know that, but money can't buy you everything. That has just been proved with Manchester City this season. Finishing third. So there's another one where me and Rob agreed with where they would finish. Second. Now, into the top two. Who finished second? Well, look, let me say, if you're going to predict Manchester City to have a bad season, surely it's the team that's finished second for the last couple of seasons that would go on and win it. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Arsenal, as they're going to be known from now on, Arsenal the second. How did they not win it this season? Do you remember going back 9 seasons? Remember the 15-16 season? A lot of the top boys were struggling. Liverpool, Klopp hadn't settled in. Manchester sat Pellegrini with 3 months of the season to go. Thank you, Doug. You know, Tottenham were being Tottenham, you know, and Arsenal, did they win it that season? No, they came second. What London clubs have won something this season? Tottenham won the Europa League, didn't they? That's right. Oh, who won the conference? Was that Arsenal? No, of course it wasn't. It was Chelsea. But didn't Arsenal get through to the semi-finals of the Champions League? Yeah, and that's as far as they got. Where did myself, and again, me and Rob agreed on this. We both thought Arsenal would win it. Never trust a North London club. That's what you got to say, isn't it, really? We should know. And that's all we need. We don't need to do any more on this one, do we? No, I'm going to go off, have a wee. We'll do the prediction in a minute. No, let's have a look at who won it. I'm just joshing with you, Doug. I'm just joshing with you. Look, Liverpool, of course, won it, and congratulations to them. Congratulations on being able to celebrate with your fans. Condolences to those that were injured with that idiot in the car. Glad it wasn't you, Doug, and glad everybody there at least seems to be on the road to recovery. So that's good news. Look, you can guess where. There's no guessing where I'd predicted Liverpool to finish. Fifth. Rob, though, in my defence again, Rob, he is the man with the hammer. He had them finishing fourth. Look, Klopp had gone, and I have to say, I didn't get the admiration for Klopp. For a team like Liverpool, don't get me wrong, if he'd achieved what he achieved at Leicester, I'd have bent over and he could have had me. But, I mean, how's those Booking.com adverts coming along there, Jurgen? But apart from, one season, and that season was an amazing season and won everything, would Jurgen Klopp have stayed that long at a Spurs, a Chelsea, a Man United? No. You stuck with him. And look, he did do a lot for you. A new manager coming in, Arne Slot, who, if we are honest with you, for those of us that don't really follow European football, had no idea who he was. I just thought he was a one-armed bandit machine. But a new manager coming in, and let's be honest with you, that's been yours from virtually the start. I think once you got into September, I think you've been top throughout the season. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure you will. I always said it was yours to lose. You lost 3 games, did you? Which, let's be honest with you, is exactly the same as the number of games that Leicester lost when we won it. Oh no, you lost 4. Liverpool lost 1 more game this season than Leicester did when they won it. Liverpool. At my flat, somebody's just walked past. Although they were learning flats, we've got here at LTID Towers, we do have a terrace and then there's a walkway. Guy's just gone down there. I'm sure it's Gerard from Clarkson Farm. Looks like him. Probably isn't, obviously, but I'd go out and ask him. I wouldn't understand a word he said anyway. From week 10 onwards, okay, I was there or thereabouts stuff. But look, when you are top from week 10, as Doug says, onwards, you deserve to win it. Well done. And well done to Arne Slot coming in, showing that not all Dutch managers are shit-faced wankers. Just the odd one. I had to get it off my chest. So there you go. I got 1 spot on. Rob got 2 spot on. We'd agreed on our predictions on 7 between us. Just shows what a mad season it's been. Totally mad. Congrats to Liverpool. We'll see you in the Championship. We might see you in a year's time. I doubt it, but you never know. Fingers crossed. Right. Tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to move on to the where are you, Prashant? You're at the airport, but there's a lot of airports in the world. We're going to do the Prediction League, and we'll come back and do it straight after this.
Hello, Matt Elliott here.
Hi, Alan Smith here.
Hey guys, Ian Hume here.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here.
Be sure to watch
Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV
for all the latest Leicester City news and information.
You can also subscribe on YouTube and various social media channels.
for the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Come on, you foxes!
Indeed. Scott, like I say, it's been a mad season. Do you like that shirt, by the way? Do you think I should buy it? So here we go. This is the prediction table. Now, when we started out, there was about 20 of us in it. We have whittled it down to just 14 because we did say at the start, Doha, okay. Stay safe, mate, stay safe. If anybody was to miss more than 2 weeks, they would be thrown out. Unless you told us you were going on holiday for 2 weeks and you wouldn't make. I mean, I went to, as you know, did you know I'd gone to Australia? I went to Australia for 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, and I predicted in advance, which is why I did so badly, because the start of the season, trying to predict games 3 weeks in advance when you've got nothing to go on. Mind you, having said that, I probably did better than the rest of the weeks when I was back here. But so we have chucked a few people out, and we're going to be doing it again next season. We're almost going to be probably doing it in the same format: 3 points for a win, if you get, or 3 points for a correct score, 1 point for a correct outcome. But if you were in it last year and you just stopped, and I've spoken to Paddy at Bournemouth, so he knows. And he had he got a lot of things going on. He's got family, kids, work, etc. So I get that, but it's we don't want to keep you in there, and it's just taking up. It's more work. Does look like Jared, but I wonder if Jeremy's going to go back. Or Holly. Have you seen new Holly? Ooh. I tell you what, I'd go down on the farm with her. Hey. Anyway, come on, get back. So yeah, next season, anybody who dropped or we took out this season because you didn't keep up with your scores won't be in it next season. But more about that as we get closer to the season. So here's how it is. We ended up with 14 in, and I'm going to say now, here we go. In Wayne's defence, he did come 14th, but he only joined with about 20 weeks to go, I think. Or if not even that, to be honest with you, probably with about 12 or 13 weeks to go. Wayne joined, and he finished 14th, and he got 19 correct. And of course, that is because he was able to use his experience of having been in a fantasy league to do 147 points. He nearly caught Brad up. But Wayne in 14th. Jeff missed a few weeks because of hospitalisation. But he's obviously, I'm glad to hear it all went well, Jeff, and he came back at the end. He's in 13th. In 12th, I don't know if you remember last season, because a couple of seasons ago, the Prediction League, the show itself used to be myself, Brad, and you remember Steve Lynex, the ex-player. And Brad won it 2 seasons out of 3. He said this season, back in the Premier League, I'm going to win it again. 12th, Brad. That is a bit of what I would like to call a Tottenham Hotspur season. I always win something in my second year in charge, and he finished 17th. Although he did obviously win the trophy, the Europa League. Brad, going to win the Premier League again, finishes 12th. 22 correct, scores 200 points. I got excited. I mean, look, Michael in 11th, who had a very good last week, apparently, and I was looking to stay ahead of him. I finished 10th. At one point, I was up to, I think, 6th at one point. Got a bit of a nosebleed and fell back down again. At one point, I was above Kate. No jokes. Keep it clean. Carl, and then that's the worst of it. That is the worst of it, that I've been beaten out of 9th place by a Leeds United fan. I mean, if things aren't shit enough already. Yeah, he's in the chat, Totally Levy and Home Football Podcast. Hello there, Carl. How are you? See you next season when you come back down. No, congratulations on getting up. I think you actually, having stayed down that season, and I bet you were glad you avoided the playoffs again, but having stayed down last season, I think that did you a lot of favours. Got rid of a lot of people that didn't want to be there and were just probably coasting. Players went that you didn't go. Obviously, next time we play you will be called, Red Bull Leeds. So just waiting for that. You might say tough luck, but, Red Bull Leeds, it's got a certain ring to it, hasn't it? But then so's my arse. all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Shane. How's my channel not been closed down? Shane finished in 8th, 10 points above me, 5 above Cole. 38 correct scores. That can make a difference, you see, because you get 3 points for the correct score, 1 point for the correct outcome. So there, I'm still laughing at that joke. I shouldn't laugh at my own jokes, but, nobody else does, so I might as well. Right, let's have a look at the next part of the table. Don't know why I'm building up the suspense, because Wayne came in and first of all I said it straight away, didn't he, and ruined it. Can't get the staff these days. But there we go. Craig Bird, 28 correct, 232 points. John got 29 correct, 240 points. Shane O, who was up there a lot of the time, dropped a bit off at the end. 36, 241 points. This is correct. Spencer finishing in 4th. 29 correct scores, 242 points. That's it from 7th to 4th. Next, well, who do we have in 3rd? Battle for the top 3. It was Doug at one point, who of course won it last season when we were in the Championship. And don't forget, of course, next season's Premier League will be the Championship scores, not the Premier League. He dropped down. In fact, I think one week I actually jumped above Doug, but he had a strong finish. But his wife tells me. Kate finished 3rd. Again, I was on top of Kate at one point. Not going to complain. It was very, very nice. She got 38 correct scores, 245 points. Really pulled away at the end, which apparently I've told is one of the best things you can do. But she finishes 3rd with 38 points, 38 correct scores, 245. Top 2, you can probably guess, doing at Liverpool, being top for virtually over 2/3 of the season. Doug in 2nd. And there was quite a gap there, but Doug, you beat Kate by 1 point into 2nd place. 32 correct scores, 246 points. But top of the pile, Nate, 38 correct scores, which is the most anybody got, with Kate and Shane D also getting 38 correct scores, 280 points. Congratulations, mate. Well done, mate. You deserve it. Like I say, you've been top of the pile for about 13 weeks. I know, sorry, Prashant, I'm sorry. But well done. Now, America, are they in front of us or behind us? I think they're behind us in the time, because I wondered, if because he's in a different time zone, whether somehow we knew the results before we actually posted them. But of course, he's behind us, so that can't really happen. And there we go, and that is your final table. Wayne 14th, Jeff 13th, Brad 12th, Michael 11th, I was in 10th, I was robbed. Carl in 9th, Shane in 8th, Craig in 7th, John in 6th, Shane O in 5th, Spencer 4th, and the bronze went to Kate in 3rd, silver Doug in 2nd, and the gold to Nate in 1st. Nate says it was pretty close for a while. I thought we were going to throw it away at the end. Everybody else was throwing it away. And I've got to say, as you can see there were 760 games this season that we would have predicted. 2,280 points were available. The fact, Nate, that you got over 10% of that is a credit to you. In fact, everybody on the left-hand side plus Shane got 10% or more. The rest of us, we could hang our heads in shame. We will do it all next season. We'll do a show and we're going to announce how it's going to run, pretty much the same as this year, though. I think it's the easiest and quickest to do. congratulations, Nate. It will be the championship next year. Now, obviously, with the championship, there are two games. A lot of times there's 2 games a week. There's also 12 games every week compared to 10. When it's a double week, we won't be including the second week on the show. You'd still put your predictions in, but otherwise the show will go on and on. As Freddie Mercury said, the show must go on. It will go on. And this is who we've got next year. Our opponents: Birmingham, Blackburn, Bristol City, Charlton. Looking forward to seeing Charlton again. Coventry, Derby, Hull, Ipswich, Middlesbrough, Millwall, Norwich, Oxford, Portsmouth, Preston. Good luck, Daniel. QPR, Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday. Wonder what games are going to be on Sky next season. Southampton, Stoke, Swansea, Watford, West Bromwich Albion, and Wrexham. They are our opposition next season. Those are the games we're going to have to try and predict. If you didn't join in this year, Prashant, please do join in next year. It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of a laugh. I mean, it's free to join, but there's no prize for winning. It literally is just a little bit of fun. Well done, like I say, to Nate. Look, unless something happens, and we know, as the kids program used to say, anything can happen in the next half hour. Just reading that, Scott. Breaking news from Sky Sports. Allegedly, if a team gets a charge against them, it will cost a point. Man City will be deducted from the 1st of September. Yeah. I think I get that. And I know it's a joke. So, yeah, do look out for the announcement of when we will be doing the show and how you can enter and how it's going to run. That'll be nearer the time. So unless anything happens, like I say, tonight or tomorrow in regards to Leicester City's manager, I'm not going to be here. Because tomorrow lunchtime, I will be on a hairy plane. Probably not the best time to be watching the bombing of Pan Am 103 on the BBC, just before I go on holiday. I'm off to Lanzarote, where it's very, very warm at the moment, touching 30. A bit like my age. And I will be away until the following Friday. Thank you very much, Nate. I am going to be doing no football. There was a football game on while we were away. It's really expensive holiday because I'm going with my mate, and he owns a property over there, so it's El Cheapo, but it's good value. Thanks to everybody for taking part this season. Really have enjoyed doing this with Brad, and of course thanks to Wayne who joined us late on, and Mike dropped a lot. How did you do in the Fantasy League, by the way, Wayne? Where did you end up? There will be shows during the summer. I'm going to let you know that. Obviously, there'll be back pages. Will probably on the 2 main shows we'll be doing will be the back pages on a Friday and Fox's Forum on the Tuesday. Then obviously there'll be breaking news shows when news breaks. Thank you all. I want to say thank you to all my moderators that have been in the chat and helped out with that. Really do appreciate that. Also, I want to thank all my co-presenters for coming on. Otherwise, you'd have had to look at this. That's just me on my own all week, every show. And thanks to you guys for joining in and coming on to YouTube and not leaving me on my own talking to myself. And if you've been listening, obviously, to all you podcast listeners as well, thank you for listening. The podcast goes from strength to strength. We do it in association with Talk Sport. It's really, really enjoying doing that as well. I've got to go. Football League World is calling. I've got to go and record a couple of things for them before I go on my holiday. And as Scott says there, thank you very much, Scott. Do remember, please do. Well, first of all, smash the likes. Did you know what? It's free. And it doesn't cost you anything because it's free. And what it does is it gets us seen on everybody else's homepage if they don't subscribe to us. Well, of course, you can just subscribe. That really helps as well. Click that notification bell, especially during the summer. During the season, if it's Tuesday night, it's this show. If it's Thursday, it's the prediction show, etc. Don't know during the off season. Click that notification bell. And it costs over £300 just for StreamYard to be able to stream this. It costs £100 for Canva to do all the graphics that I do for you. Cost another 50 quid for another thing for the video. Costs a lot of money. And I don't work anymore, I'm retired. It is a hobby, and all hobbies cost money. But did you know, for $1.99 a month, you can become a channel member, and that helps the running of the... it's not big money. As Tesco says, every little help. It's $1.99, become a member. Details are in the description below on YouTube with a link there you can click on to join. You can't even get half a pint for $1.99. Not even at Wetherspoons, guys. Thank you very much for that. Thank you, Scott. Thank you to everybody that's in there. Thank you, Nate. I intend to have a good holiday. I'm going to have a football-free holiday. And I've got to say, after this season, I cannot wait. Thanks to everybody for the season. Really appreciate you being there for me. I will see you probably a week on Saturday when I come back. Take care. All the best.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.